What's that one thing that you're holding on to in your life? Maybe it's a conversation, an argument you had with another person. Maybe it's a sense of longing for another person or a sense of frustration with something that's happening in your life right now. Maybe it's even a physical thing that you're become attached to over time. It's so easy to hold on to things, and as a result, we feel heavy. We feel weighed down like we are carrying baggage in our life. Today, we're going to explore letting go. I'll also be introducing you to a meditation technique, a visualization that can help you feel a bit lighter in your life. Hi, I'm Andy, and welcome to Headspace Guide to Meditation. So, once I'd made the decision to actually become a monk, obviously there was a process that I had to go through. Not just flying out to another country and becoming a monk, but also the process of letting go of my life. And it wasn't just letting go of all the physical belongings. It was also letting go of the environment that I'd grown up in, even letting go of my hair. But I think the thing that really surprised me, I thought I was going away and I'd be giving away my busy mind. I thought I was going to be letting go of all the difficult emotions I'd ever experienced. Well, I very quickly realized that it wasn't quite so easy to let go of the things in my mind. So, even as I sat there in these beautiful surroundings, the Himalayan mountains with the very best tech teachers in the world close by, I still experienced the mind. It was sort of taking away in the background. And for most of us, right, our minds are quite busy most of the time, almost like a little sort of monkey jumping around, never really stopping, never taking the time to rest. And I think because of that, we tend to feel quite tired. We often feel overwhelmed. We don't necessarily know how to experience a sense of rest and relaxation. So, what we usually do in that situation is to try and think our way out of the problem. So, we're essentially using the monkey to try and control the monkey. And so, we need to find a way of letting go, not only by creating the conditions around us in life that are conducive to relaxation, but also internally understanding how you can find relaxation in the mind. What we need to do is to create an environment where we can naturally let go. The way this was explained to me was by one of my teachers in the monastery. He said, imagine the blue sky. He said, the blue sky is your mind. Now, this blue sky always exists. Sure, there are days when the sky is very cloudy, and clouds being our thoughts. We may not necessarily see the blue sky. In fact, we may go through long periods in our life when there are so many clouds in the sky that we forget what the blue sky even looks like. But that doesn't mean that the blue sky has gone anywhere. And once we start thinking of the mind in that way, you're actually simply creating the conditions to allow the clouds of thoughts to disperse so that we can experience more of the blue sky. You don't need to go anywhere to find it. It's ever present. So visualization can sometimes seem a little tricky at first, but our difficulties with it normally have more to do with the way we are approaching it rather than the technique itself. And the good news is it's actually quite an easy technique to learn. Now, in this particular technique, we're going to imagine a warm flow of light coming down through the top of the head and into the body. And as we're doing that, we might think to ourselves, okay, I really got to get this right. I really got to make it clear in my mind. And we start trying to imagine. We essentially overthink the exercise. We worry, should the light be small? Should it be big? Should it be round? Should it be square? Kind of get in our own way. So with this particular exercise, we're gonna take a slightly different approach. In fact, take a moment right now to imagine a place that you really enjoy. So just picture that place in your mind. Might be the colors, the shapes, maybe it's the sounds and smells. So my guess is that right now that image naturally comes to mind. You just see it, right? And it may even remain in the mind for a few seconds without any real effort to try and keep it there. So it's this gentle, relaxed approach that works really well for visualization. So remember, it doesn't require any great effort. So focus less on the clarity of the image and more on the feeling that it brings to the meditation. And in time, that image will naturally become clearer. As we meditate more frequently, we get more comfortable with it. And then we not only get the benefits during the meditation, but it also carries on and over into the rest of our life. Now, there's actually a scientific reason for this. There's something changing inside of our brain as we meditate. In an amazing study, Dr. Sarah Laser of Harvard University helped to show how after just 8 weeks of meditation training, we can actually bring about physical changes to the areas of the brain associated with learning and memory. So, those parts of the brain actually increased in size, and the part that's associated with anxiety and stress actually grew smaller. Sarah helped show that after just 8 weeks of practice, there were substantial changes. Now, obviously, if we don't continue to practice, we won't necessarily continue to experience those benefits. But it's really interesting to know that there are physical changes as well as psychological changes taking place. Okay, now it's time to put this all together. I'm gonna guide you through a meditation. So, as always, just take a moment to make sure that you are comfortable in your surroundings. Maybe decide whether you like to do this meditation lying down, sitting up, eyes open, eyes closed, whatever feels most natural and most comfortable to you. So, just as you're getting comfortable, just a reminder that your mind is still gonna think. Don't be frustrated if thoughts arise. The mind will naturally wander. Our only job is to notice when it wanders and then to gently come back to our objective focus, which today is gonna be this image in our mind. The more effort we apply, the less relaxing the exercise feels. So use this as an opportunity to really step back and find a sense of ease in your body and in your mind. What we are looking for is already here, the idea of the blue sky. We don't have to try and change something in the mind. It's simply creating the conditions for the clouds to part. We're gonna begin with the eyes open and nice soft focus, just aware of the space around you. So, not staring at one thing, but just seeing everything very softly. And just maintaining that focus, taking a couple of big, deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, noticing how the lungs expand, the body fill in with air. As you breathe out, a sense of ease as the muscle in the body soften. And just one more time, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you like to, you can just gently close your eyes now and take a moment. Just enjoy the feeling of having stopped, having paused, nothing to do, nowhere to go, and just feeling that sensation of the body pressing down. The weight of the body pressing down against the seat beneath you, the floor beneath you. As always, just checking in with the body, with the space around you, maybe noticing any sounds around you, noticing any resistance to those sounds. Just allowing everything just to come and go. And as you sit there or as you lie there, just noticing how the body feels today. Perhaps even any areas where you feel that maybe you're holding on to a little bit of tension areas that would benefit from letting go. And just for a few moments, just noticing how the body's breathing, that rising and falling sensation. Don't need to do anything with it, taking a moment to rest the tension there. Imagine that above your head is a steady flow of warm sunlight flowing down into the body all the way down towards the feet and toes. We're going to imagine that this sunlight fills the body, and as it fills the body, it's just gonna melt away any discomfort, any tension. Just softening the body, softening the mind. So we're going to start down at the toes. So again, imagining that steady sunlight flows down through the body, filling the toes, the feet, up past the ankles, and into the lower half of the legs. So once you set it in motion, it's as though it's just happening. Sometimes we are aware of it. Sometimes the mind wanders off. Whenever the mind wanders, we just gently bring it back again to the image in the mind. So again, as that sunlight moves through the body, just melting any tension, moving into the upper half of the legs, and the muscles just softening. As it continues up toward the pelvis, the waist, in any muscles, any tension, just softening, dissolving in that sunlight. As it continues up through the stomach and the lower back, and any tension just melting away. It continues up towards the chest and the upper back, any tension just dissolving in the sunlight. Just feel that center sunlight coming down from above the head into the body, flowing down, now past the shoulder, down the arms, and towards the hand and the fingers and thumbs. As it travels down the arms again, just melting any tension. The body just letting go as it continues to flow down, now feeling the area of the neck and the throat. Just everything softening into the jaw and lower jaw, upper jaw, behind the nose, behind the eyes. Any tension just drifting away until the sunlight reaches the very top of the head. So even though the entire body is now filled with that sunlight, that sense of ease, that sense of warmth, that sense of space, we still imagine that it continues. And you can let go of the focus on the image, but allow the feeling to remain. As you bring your attention back to the body, back to that feeling of contact, back to the sounds and the space around you, you can gently open your eyes whenever you feel ready. But as always, taking a moment to notice how the body feels, to notice how the mind feels, having taken a few minutes out for yourself. So hopefully you are able to feel a greater sense of lightness today, a greater sense of letting go. But if that didn't immediately happen, don't worry. It can take a little while to get comfortable, to get familiar with these exercises. And even if you didn't feel anything just yet, know that there are very real changes in the brain and in the mind that are already starting to happen. As always, meditation only gets better with practice. So please join me for episode 3, where we are going to explore gratitude, how we can have a greater sense of appreciation in our life, and how we can fall back in love with our life again. I'll see you then.